Okay, this is a video demonstration showing you how to measure and cut a piece of pine. So pine is in a group of woods called a softwood, and they come from trees that don't lose their needles in the winter time. So think of maybe a Christmas tree. So the lines you can see in the wood, that's known as the grain, and these kind of circles, these are called knots. So this is our pine piece of wood. So we're going to measure and cut this in half. This piece of wood is 200 millimeters long. We use millimeters in DT, so I'm going to make a mark. So there are different ways to kind of check as well that your piece of wood is straight. So this is called a Trisquare. This can measure a 90-degree angle, and I can put that on the corner of my wood, and if I hold it up, there's going to be no light, and also no light, no light. What I can also do to check my wood is also something straight. I can put it on the edge, and again, you're just checking that it's straight with no light that you can see between the two. So I've made my mark to halfway, but I need to draw a straight line down the piece of timber. So I could also use a marking knife. This is another tool I can use to mark out timber. It's got a beveled edge and a flat edge, and what you would do is you would line up your Trisquare, and then you hold it like a pencil and just cut, gently draw your marking knife across the grain. So it's only to be used for across the grain, and it's only really used for accurate, maybe if you're making a wood joint like a cabinet maker, might use a marking knife. But for us at school, we're going to use a pencil, because when you use a marking knife, it's permanent, so you can't rub it out if you make a mistake. So we're going to use a pencil. I've got my Trisquare. I'm going to line it up against my pine, and because I've checked that it's straight, I can use this to make a straight cutting edge. And then I'm actually going to do it all the way around, so that I know when I cut through my pine that it's cutting all the way through. Okay, so I've marked out my pine. Then I'm going to cut it, so I need a bench hook, and that fits into a wood vise, and you tighten it up. And you can get a left and a right-handed bench hook. I'm right-handed, so I need the gap this side. And then this is a Tenon Saw, which we're going to use to cut. So they are in a group of saws called back saws. So they're only for cutting straight lines in pieces of wood. And when you cut it, it cuts on the forward stroke. And when you're holding it, you want to put your index finger forward, so that keeps it nice and stable. So you hold your wood by the bench hook with your cutting line just with a little gap with the space, and then you gently make a little mark, and then just gently saw your piece of pine. If your saw gets jammed, what you can do is just take your blade, your saw out, and just gently get rid of any sawdust that's collected in the blade. Try not to blow the sawdust away that's there, because you don't want it into the atmosphere. What you can do is just pick it up and just gently knock it out. and then there I've cut my piece of pine into half. If when I'm not using this saw, I need to just put it in the middle of the table, out of the way, so it doesn't drop on the floor or injure anybody.